recognizing our friends from Startup America, CEO Scott Case and COO Kathleen Warner, our own entrepreneur in residence and host of Shark Tank, Daymond John, Professor Dennis Saru and his McPhee team of students, and most importantly, Ben Foreman and Jeff Larson, the co-founder of Zboard, the reason we're here today. It's all about entrepreneurship. That's why we're here today. And in a highly uncertain economy, this generation is simply not waiting for things to get better. They're creating the future. Now I'm delighted to introduce Kathleen Warner, the COO of the Startup America Partnership. Kathleen?
Thank you very much, Len. It's so exciting to be here. Just by way of background a little bit, Daymond John was really one of the first people in the country to raise his hand and say, I really want to be part of Startup America, what can I do? Which is, given how busy Daymond is, given his incredible stature among the entrepreneurial community, we were just so grateful for that. And as we sat in his office one day talking about what can we do, he pulled me into a session that he was doing with Babson students. And it was just incredible. It was incredible to watch, certainly Daymond in action, but also the vibrancy of these student entrepreneurs, and really seeing both Babson in action and Daymond in action. So out of that, in true entrepreneurial fashion, came this relationship with Babson, and we at Startup America couldn't be more excited that we're sitting here today, not only with Babson, with Daymond John, but with Startup America member Zboard, who are just doing amazing kick-ass stuff.
Oh, welcome to Startup America.
Yeah, well.
Where borders kick butt.
In any event, so I just wanted to turn the mic over to two great entrepreneurs, Jeff Larson and Ben Foreman, co-founders of Zboard. Thank you very much.
Thanks Kathleen, Scott, the whole Babson team, Daymond, and the team that will be supporting us through this project. What can we say? I mean, we love Startup America, and we're so excited to be here. Startup America kind of found us a few months ago. We were a small company with really no sales, and through some help from them, a little bit of crowdfunding, some pre-orders who had a lot of confidence in us, now we're on the verge of potentially something big, and we're really hoping that kind of Hal and the rest of our Babson team here can kind of bridge the gap to make us something bigger than we are today. So we're just so appreciative that they have us out here in Babson. We're looking forward to kind of tearing it up through the fall leaves. We're based in California, so we're used to dodging sand, so today we'll dodge foliage. And we're just really looking forward to it. Just want to say thanks again for having us.
Give us the pitch. What's the product?
Oh, give us the pitch. So what we do...
sell. Get us some more orders here. You get all these people. You only have 750 backlog. Get to like 1,000.
So, go for it.
The Zboard is a hands-free weight-sensing electric skateboard. It's something that literally anyone can ride. It's the perfect solution for short-range transportation needs between 1 mile and 3 miles. Our boards have a 5 to 10 mile range on one charge. They operate by leaning forward to accelerate, leaning back to slow down, and it's been a project that's 3.5 years in the making, and we're now delivering boards. So we're very excited to begin ramping that up and working with this executive Babson team to make it a complete success.
All right, so how do I buy one?
You can buy one online at zboardshop.com. You can also follow us on Twitter and Facebook /Zboard.
You got to tip sales. You guys going to work on sales with them? Come on, this is good. Awesome.
Thanks so much for having us.
Continuing to move the agenda along, it's my pleasure to introduce Scott Case, the CEO of the Startup America Partnership.
So maybe I'll round out by just bringing some context to kind of what we're here and what this is a microcosm of. So Startup America was launched about 18 months ago with really one intention in mind, which was to step up America's startup game. As Daymond mentioned, entrepreneurship, starting high-growth companies is going to be a key strategy to the success of America's economy. In fact, for 200 years, we've been natural athletes as Americans at the startup game. We've been able to generate large numbers of startups. Many of them have created massive success, and I don't doubt for a second that these young entrepreneurs and their product at Zboard is going to be one of the ones we look back on as an example of what's possible in our country. What's changed is that not only my daughter and your daughters living their lives differently and thinking about the world differently, but the rest of the world is catching on to this entrepreneurship bug. And it's shown what an important part of economies the startup game is. In fact, in the United States, the last 30 years, all the net new jobs were created by companies less than 5 years old. How old are you guys? When did you guys found the company?
2.5 years ago.
So 2.5 years ago, they've got almost $1 million in orders. It's these high growth companies. They're actually making stuff in America. It's another great example. They're building product here and they're shipping it all around the world. We need a lot more of that activity, and what Startup America is doing is looking at how can we help young high growth companies that are focused on building their businesses right now, right here in the United States, and they're everywhere. They're not only here outside of Boston, but they're in places like Des Moines, they're in Nashville, they're in Chicago, they're in Indianapolis, they're in Boulder, Colorado, and Denver, and Miami, Florida. They're everywhere. And what we're doing at Startup America is connecting those startup ecosystems with the tools and the resources they need to become much more permanent homes to successful startups, to build successful communities around the startups that are already there, and how do we connect them together. And then we're connecting those startups all across the country. So that connections are really critical. So I'll talk about two things. One is related to companies like Zboard. Connections are everything. The relationships that these young entrepreneurs will have with the Babson team, with Daymond John, with the network that's built around Babson. To their credit, they've been successful at leveraging the network that Startup America has brought to the table for them. Successful entrepreneurs create strong networks around them. They create relationships that help them build successful companies. Because when you run into that challenge that you're facing, it's going to be the quality of the network of the people around you that can help you resolve those challenges that you face. And we need that density, that network density around every startup to be higher. For us to be successful at that, we need partnerships like the ones we've got with Babson here. We need to bring the connective tissues much, much stronger. When you look at strong startup communities, they all are based on how well networked the relationships are around the startups themselves and the communities that they're in. So what we're seeing here is a great demonstration of those connective tissues. How do we connect some of Babson's great MBA students? How do we connect them with Daymond? How do we connect them with Startup America? And we're using Zboard as one example, but there are thousands and thousands of other examples that are possible. So if I were to challenge our team here in the audience there, it's plug into your local startup community. If you visit Startup America's website at s.co, you can find a startup community that's around you. Maybe there's a university that's willing to do something similar that Babson does, and Babson has a long history of being innovators in this space and then sharing in very much an open source way with the rest of the world. So take these ideas and let's track over the next 6 weeks, as I don't doubt Zboard to go from where they are to the next level, thanks to the team here. But let's demonstrate this all across the country. So I'm really excited about what's possible here, and really as a model for the rest of the country. And I think we can see us as Americans step up our game, because again, the leading edge of our economy are young, high-growth companies like Zboard, and we all have a role to play in helping them. So I'm just thrilled to be a part of this partnership, and I guess I'll turn it back to you. So thank you all.
Thanks so much. Ladies and gentlemen, Daymond John.
Thank you guys for having me. Thank you for being here. I have to be very honest. My association with Babson and Startup America has been a very selfish one, and a one-sided one, because I actually was able to go to the school with the history of 18 years of being the #1 entrepreneurial school in the world, and learning from people such as Kathleen and Scott how to be even a better entrepreneur, and I didn't have to pay anything. So it's really a pleasure and an honor to be here, and my last year and tenure being here has been really exciting. So I'm really excited also about the Zboard and the competition. And why? Because when I first started my own business, I didn't have all the assets and the people to give me that guidance and make sure that I was on the right track, and it was very costly. It was a learning experience. I don't regret anything, but it was very costly. It took many, many years to understand that. And when we deal on Shark Tank, a lot of people say, well, these guys are sharks and they're looking to take advantage of young entrepreneurs and small businesses, but it's exactly the opposite. We're sharks because I have no problem beating up on Mark Cuban and Bart Corcoran for a profit. But in regards to the new partners, it's exciting to see that twinkle in people's eyes that I had when I first started. I think that entrepreneurship is going to get us out of this funk that we're in as a country. And you know, believe it or not, I'm not really as young as I say I am. I usually say I'm 35 years old. And the young guys and this young and ladies and the young energy that they have, they look at things so different these days. You know, I'm at the point where my daughter thinks I'm the dumbest man on the planet. And it's maybe because I don't see things that they do. And they are our future. Very, very exciting. The energy is amazing. And I get to work with people like this every day. I learned that intimately when I worked with the McPhee team. The McPhee team was the young kids that were put together to vet all of my Shark Tank products, and I couldn't believe all the SWOT analysis they would do. I really didn't understand all the other opportunities as well as the challenges that I would face because things are moving so fast, and information is really the key to anybody's success, and these kids are brilliant kids. So being able to work with StartUp America, Kathleen, Scott, you know, Len, and everybody else, and the Zboard is really exciting for me. I'm going to be part of the team. I'm going to, you know, Skype and even visit if I can, and maybe I'll get some brand new stitches riding aboard. I'm very excited about being here, and thank you guys.
Thanks again for joining us today. We look forward to sharing more good news for you as we move forward and build opportunities for entrepreneurs to create jobs everywhere. Thanks again.